Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Ronin. And I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Unscripted. Already in the chat, FKHC 2005, sometimes known as him. The tired midnight blogger himself, Curtis Selby. Faithful Blue Ranch channel member, the bird woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Cleary. Channel member, Dark Woods. Channel member, JPRPH1. D. Penzak. Host of Films with Friends, which I will be appearing this Saturday night. The creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. Last call, Troy Pacelli. The Clue Channel. Daniel's Hot Topics. Real Way Nation Gaming Clips. Host of Geeky Geezers, which will begin right after this project. We will be redirected. Aged Boomer. Natters Network, giving out her high sweeties. All right. Let's see how many channel members I can lose this week. I have often said that my channel is not an echo chamber. I don't expect everyone to agree 100% with everything I say. Agree to disagree, I've always said. There are going to be people who are just diametrically opposed to whatever opinion I may have. That's life. All I have ever asked is give me the chance to, if not change your mind, at least understand where I'm coming from. That's the way things used to be. Now, I did a show last week about my feelings of the election and what has happened since up to that point. Basically, the first 10 days of Trump's new term. Somewhere along the way, a channel member who shall remain nameless decided that they were no longer going to support my channel. Hasn't said why. Wasn't a jerk about it. Just very simply said, that he was finished supporting the show. Which, again, is fine. This is not an echo chamber. You can agree to disagree. I'm not saying who this person is because I think they are a generally good person. I am not planning to start a feud. I have always said that if you disagree and you feel that whatever you disagree with, you need to quit watching my channel over it. If you feel that need, you can just go. You don't even really have to tell me. And I respect the fact that this person chose to tell me. It is what it is. What channels you choose to support in whatever way you choose to support them is your choice. It's unfortunate, but if you're willing to move on, I'm willing to move on. As I said, this person was not disrespectful in any way. This is not someone who chose to attack me on other platforms or try to make me look bad in front of other channels. This is a person who very simply said, hey, I'm out. And that's fine. I can understand that. Whatever, if you choose to move on. Okay. But I do see it as a symptom of a bigger problem. And that is the fact that this is a country that is very much divided. This is a country that has two diametrically opposed sides. I would rather that we be united, but we're not. You have one side that believes that they are the absolute good and that those who oppose their way of thinking are evil. And you have one side who believes that they're right. And they have their own buzzwords to say. against their opposition. And there's a reason that this has happened. And the news media is to blame for a lot of it. Hollywood is certainly a very big part of it. And maybe up to a point, YouTube needs to share some of that blame too. And by that, I am not omitting myself. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And I'm an old dog. And trust me, I've been feeling every second of my age lately. There is a cancer. There is a sickness. And it's not just in this country. It seems to be around the world. All you got to do is look at what's going on in the UK right now. There used to be a thing called the British Empire. It's not an empire anymore. They barely have a country. And we are in danger of becoming just like them if we are not careful. Now, it is my personal belief that we now have an administration in power that can begin this change that we need to make. It may take years. And it may take multiple administrations. But we as a country must heal. However, we have certain groups, certain individuals that very clearly do not want to make that change. And I can see it in the attitude of the younger people that I work with. The older ones too, that's a different story. We'll get back to them. Let's talk about the millennials. Let's talk about the Gen Zers for a minute. I notice a number of things that I find troubling. I see young men who have difficulty doing basic jobs, who spend more time smoking weed and playing video games. while in and of itself, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. But doing it to the point where you go to work, you can't do the job for whatever reason, lack of training, who knows. Then you go home and you play video games and you smoke yourself into oblivion. Get out, touch grass. Yeah, you got to sit the bong down sometimes. And hello to John Doe Juggalo. You have to do that sometimes, kids. Okay? Go outside, do other things, hang out with people. Go find yourself a decent girl. And here's another thing that I'm noticing is a lot of these guys don't date. And I am beginning to see why. The women of their generation treat them like complete crap. They treat them like wallets, walking wallets. And every time a man tries to say something nice to them or is genuinely interested, they treat them like they're graping them or something. So they retreat. They go back to the drugs. They go back to the video games. And I don't care if I get demonetized tonight. You know, I'm expecting it. I know the show is hidden. I get it. That's nothing new. They can demonetize me all they want. I make shit from this channel. I do it because I like it. I do this show because, as Pop Culture Minefield told me, you have a voice, use it. I know they'll come after me. I know why they want to come at me. You think I'm afraid of being called an hysterophobe? No. I've been called shit like that since I was 3 years old. I am a white man from the South. I know what people think we are in their own minds, and that's part of what I'm talking about. That is part of this division that these people want to sow. You're disrespected. You're treated like a wallet. And if you speak up, you get hammered down. You know, and you get the buzzwords. You get canceled. You're over. Now, this is also done by corporations. And hello to our man in the future, Sashi. And hello to Nate. Thank you for the $2 super chat. An exchange of ideas is the only way to learn. Get well soon, Nate. Get some rest. I understand if you have to go. And hello to my partner in crime, Outlaw Bill. Now, this is also done by corporations. Corporations do not see us as people. They see us as wallets. This is why I say hashtag wallets closed. I'm not going to clap like a trained seal just because Star Wars is stamped on it. Or because Doctor Who is stamped on it, or anything like that. These same people who destroyed all of these franchises expect us to keep paying for these broken franchises. Corporations see us as see us as consumers, see us as customers. Exactly right. And they forgot that the customer is always right. $2 from Darkwoods, giving this to you before you get canceled, man. We'll see what happens. I think I'm too small fry a channel for them to care, but they can come at me all they want. There's Rumble, you know? Now, over on Troy's channel, Troy and Netter's channel, we're watching Fantastic Beasts, right? And Al was making the statement based on the movie that Eddie Redmayne would have made a really good Doctor Who. And I tend to agree because he's kind of playing Doctor Who in that movie. Newt Scamander is Doctor Who. I'm just saying. Now, I have not necessarily been the biggest Doctor Who fan. I never really got into it. But I understand what it is to love a franchise. You know, to love a certain character or a certain book, whatever. So I don't have to be a Doctor Who fan to understand why a Doctor Who fan likes that particular show. And it angers me. It angers me that the Doctor Who fans have been disrespected in the fashion that they have been. This is a 60-year franchise that was aimed primarily for children. This was something that the whole family could watch. You could put your kids down in front of a TV, and remember, in the UK, you have to pay to have a television license. You have to pay to have a television in your house. And from what I understand, they pay through the nose for content that ain't really that good. You know, but they had Doctor Who. You can't show this to kids anymore. You have people in charge of that show. You have people in charge of Star Wars and these various other franchises. Star Trek. Look what they've done to Star Trek. Now, look, like I said, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but I feel for the fans. But I was a Star Trek fan and I was a Star Wars fan. I don't have to have played Dungeons and Dragons to understand what's being done to that IP. And I hit on something recently. This is deliberately done. This is being deliberately done in order to divide us. We used to have heroes. We used to have these characters that we could look up to, and they have all been torn down. When I was a kid, you were taught that you could look up to police, you could look up to doctors. These are things you could strive to be. And that's been torn down. I grew up in a military family. I I look at members of the military as modern day samurai. That's how I look at them. They go to the places no one else wants to go. And they get the job done. The politicians won't let them get the job done. You want to know what the politicians do to our military? We just had a president who just left office who said that the number one threat to America is its own military. That's disrespect. You can't trust police. Police are all racist. There are doctors who are out there that want to help people, that want to be healers. But then again, you have people like Fauci. This is the guy who said that you could get AIDS off of a toilet seat. This is who we're getting our medical advice from. This is a guy who let 100,000 hemophiliacs die. Now he's going to tell me, oh, just one jab from this needle and you're all cured. And people quit trusting him, and therefore you don't trust the medical establishment. Again, division. Because now you got people, again, choosing up sides. Oh, you don't want to get the jab? You're anti-vax. Oh, you support police? Oh, you hate black people. You're a racist. Oh, you don't like Doctor Who? Why? Are you a homophobe? I say in public that I support a certain candidate. Someone chooses to leave the channel. We are being deliberately divided. In a country divided is easily conquered. Now, in my opinion, we have won one battle. But the war's not over yet. We still have a fight on our hands. The same people who ginned their people up every day on the news, telling their side that they are under threat. Those people are still in place. They're in place in the mainstream media. They are in place in Hollywood, and some of them are still in place in DC. I'm not here to tell anybody how to live or what to believe. I'm merely giving my opinion. This is an opinion show. And as I said at the beginning, it is not an echo chamber. But you see the start that this year has come to. I see some I've seen some very troubling things in the last few days. There have been, I'll put it this way, there have been accidents that I personally do not believe are accidents. There have been deaths that I feel are not random murders. And some other channels have gone into more details than I'm going to tonight. There are threats that are within this country who are upset by how the recent election turned out, and now they're going to lash out. And it's not conspiracy theory if the conspiracy turns out to be right. We are dealing with people who have assassinated presidents, who have killed people who tried to do right. And yes, Epstein did not self-delete. There's one thing that I want anyone who is listening to know tonight. I do not want you to, I don't want you to hide. I don't want you to cower in fear inside your homes. That's what they want you to do. You go out and you speak your truth. And even if there's only one person listening, that's enough. Now, yes, I've gotten lucky. I've had more people who support this channel than have left it. Earlier this week, I surpassed 5,000 subscribers, and I thank each and every one of you for continuing to support me and support the channel. Now, I believe I've been able to keep that up by being honest. I'm not always going to say things that everybody's going to agree with, and I understand. But here's one thing I am not out to do. I am not out to destroy this country. And I believe that there are people out there who are trying as hard as they can to destroy this country or turn it into something unrecognizable. And they've now proven on multiple occasions that they're willing to kill to do it. Because you divide a country and then you conquer it. You can ban me, you can cancel me. You can break me, you can shut me up. But you can't fucking kill me. Because one way or another, I'm going to get the word out. We will get the word out. We have rats in the house. They have infiltrated the mainstream media. They have infiltrated Hollywood. They have infiltrated DC. They're in a lot of places, folks. And don't just believe me. Go and seek this information out on your own. I believe that most people are good. Most people just want to live their lives and be left alone. I know. I'm one of those people. I don't want the world. I'm just trying to hang on to the little piece of it. Just this one little strip of land that I live on that my father worked himself to death in order to keep. He dropped dead under this roof. I may very well drop dead under this roof. He taught me right from wrong. He taught me to look out for people who couldn't defend themselves and not to stomp on people who had less than me just because I could. And I've done my damnedest to live by that. But there are people out there who don't believe in that. There are some twisted mother effers out there, folks, and they don't care who they hurt in order to get more power or a little bit of money or to get on TV and get some FaceTime. They don't care who they stomp on. They drive people crazy. They allow mental illness to propagate. They allow it to flourish. And then they gin those people up and tell them, hey, you see that guy over there? Yeah, that guy wants to kill you or he wants to throw you out of the country. Maybe, maybe you should go over there and hurt him first. And now they're doing it. And they're doing it out in front of God and everybody. I have never really been a religious man. I believe there's something out there. I don't know. I mean, we all came from somewhere. I'm not going to get scientific. You want to say Big Bang Theory, whatever. What caused that? The point is, you can't have good without evil. And there's evil out there, man. There is. And they're not always hiding in the dark. So if there's good and evil, then maybe there is a heaven and a hell. And if there's a hell, then there's got to be a God in it. So maybe I'm more religious than I thought I was. Maybe I'm more of a believer than I always considered myself to be. And hello to Space Fraggle. Very good to see you. I'm glad you're here. As I said at the beginning of the show, I don't expect everybody to agree. This channel is not an echo chamber. I say something you disagree with, that's perfectly fine. Hell, I expect it. I ain't perfect. But there is something else that I believe in. And I believe in you. I believe in all of you who are in the chat right now. Anybody who might be lurking in the background, everybody who's watching on X, thank you. Anybody who watches this show later on, because there's always people who watch the show later on, and that's fine. I see good people who want to be left alone to live their lives, who do not want to be disrespected and who do not deserve to be disrespected. You're not ists. You're not phobes. You're human beings, and you deserve to be treated as such. Just because you disagree with something that someone else might say, that does not make you an evil person. You just agree to disagree. Period. Do not allow these people who want to divide the country, who want to divide every country, not just America, who want to divide every country. Do not let them do it. They might not have faith in you, but I have faith in you. I have faith in everybody in this chat right now. You're good people. Don't let anybody tell you you're not. Do not let them make you think ill of yourself. Do not let them divide us. Nate, for $10, the pain is getting to be too much. I have to take my medicine now, and that's going to knock me out. Give my regards to the geezers. I will. Nate, please get well very soon. Thank you very much for your support here tonight. You've gone above and beyond. Thank you very much. Please take your medicine, get some rest, get well soon. Please. Yes, everybody, please. Well wishes to Nate. Hello to Qapla', to our resident Klingon, Mark Mounikoff. I did see Daniel's Hot Topics here earlier. I don't know if I said hello to you or not. Thank you for being here. We have Geeky Geezers coming up here in a few minutes, so I'm going to wrap things up. I do want to thank everyone who was watching on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to thank everyone in the chat tonight. Nate, Troy, Netter, Boomer, Al, Connie, Toby, Space Fraggle, John Doe Juggalo, Daniel's Hot Topics, Wade, Clue, Curtis, Sashi, D. Penzak, JPRPH1, Tim, it's okay to disagree. You can agree to disagree. That doesn't make you evil. You just have your own opinion. There are dark forces at work. But I believe that we recognize those dark forces for what they are. Sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. You're good people, each and every one of you, and I believe in you. We're not always going to agree, but I got you, okay? Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting the channel. From HQ, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.